Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Making this video today talking about what I seen from Adam 22. Getting this my information from the It's Milk TV. That dude's fucking hilarious. Go check him out. Don't look at Adam 22's channel. That dude's weird as fuck, to say the least. But Adam 22, basically, I used to watch his content back in the day, pretty much regarding, hip hop. He was emerging in, that 2017, 2018 time frame, pretty much giving out interviews to up and coming hip hop artists. And at the time, I followed him because, I was interested in that, in those subjects. But, time's going on, I got older and, I'm looking at this shit and it's like he's talking to porn stars, he's talking to no, he's not even talking to porn stars, he's talking to OnlyFans girls. It's all those types of crazy shit, it's starting to get real degenerative, it's pretty much dudes just talking about glorifying their gang banging, not even music, just talking about gang banging, But yeah, basically, and he also, Adam 22 has these black co-hosts, and It's Milk TV pretty much points out in a couple of videos that he's very disrespectful towards these guys, and it kind of got me curious on looking into these guys again, and a lot of like the behavior that I see from Adam 22 is like the same behavior that I've seen from a lot of those pretty much the white liberals that I've met, that I've encountered, that tried to be friends with me, that tried basically to, it's like these dudes, it's like these dudes like seriously like go around like lurching on to be like your friend when you're black. It's very strange. And it's because they like our culture. It's because they want to seem like they're not racist. Even they were born in the most whitest families in the suburbs of New Jersey or wherever they come from. And, they want a black friend that can go into the hood to buy drugs is basically what it boils down to. And, it's like they want the feel the danger of the black culture, but they don't actually fuck with that shit. They're like scared of it on the low. They're really insecure about themselves. They're probably liberal, and they're probably got their vaccine because, they're fucking, they're followers, they fucking they leech off our culture and then they fucking just whenever we're not doing the right thing, or we're looking scary on the side of the street, they'll turn the blind eye, or or we're not saying the right thing, and you're and it's all around. And now it's, they got the excuse of the vaccine and the public health and all this, that, and the third. So it's like you can see the real racism. That's what it really is. It's we like you for your for what you can provide for us, but not for what you really are, is what it is. They look at black culture, black people, not even black. This is not even just black, but just brown in general. Brown in general, that brown color, any color in general, and they look at it for what it can provide for them, and and that's it. And as soon as it starts acting up, time to go. Basically, just getting into what Adam 22 is saying. He was telling his supposedly gangbanger host. But, he's letting this fucking pencil neck fucking white dude tell him to get a vaccine and yelling at him and shit, all because, pretty much he pays him. It was pretty cringy, this fucking pencil head fucking weirdos, he got like a hair implant, fucking dude is just yelling at this black man like dude, this guy's like fucking 260 pounds or something at least, man. Or at least I think, he's definitely like a bigger black man. And he's just yelling at him, telling him, you're endangering people by giving them false information, and you can't use your blackness as ignorance. And the guy, he all he's talking about is, he's like, cause black, he's basically talking about the Tuskegee experiments, in his own way. He's not the most educated on the subject, and pretty much all he was saying is maybe people should look into it because this fucked up shit's happened before in the past. And Adam 22 just 100% just dismisses that. He dismisses history, he dismisses the Tuskegee experiments, he dismisses slavery basically, and the medical experiments that they did to us during that time. And basically he says you can't use your blackness as ignorance and to put people in danger over a public health issue, and that's pretty much what it boils down to, is what he's saying. And I had to make this video because it's like deja vu. I've had this fucking conversation with most of the the liberal white males that I've encountered, that I've made acquaintances with over the past couple years, and pretty much the ones I met in college, which honestly now college, if you look at it, is just a communist indoctrination for Antifa. They're all into that too, of course they are. When I try to talk to them about that, I don't think I've ever talked to them about that. They're wearing their mask. I'm like, I can't even look you in the eyes, because you're pretty much submitting to the state at that point. And how can you respect yourself? How can you, you don't respect yourself. You're just a fucking, anyways, but basically it shows their lack of empathy for our situation. They say that they're our friends. They say, oh, we love your culture, but they don't. They dismiss it. They dismiss it over right now, which is pretty much the biggest issue, the biggest crisis of the 21st century. And we're having legitimate concerns. And their answer is his answer, Adam 22's answer specifically, is to yell at this man, shout him down, and pretend like he is the expert he is a health expert. This dude used to do fucking like crazy ass drugs back in the day, Like, what does he know, man? What does any of us know, Unless you're a doctor or a fucking herbalist healer, none of us really know, some people, we're obviously, there's things you can do, obvious things that you can do, but it's just the total lack of pretty much respect for the history of indigenous people, brown people, Asian people, and even in recent history, if you look at the experiments that Pfizer and all these different pharmaceutical companies have been doing in Africa and India and parts of Asia, it's you can't deny this, but the liberals, that's what they're doing right now, so YouTube's probably trying to do right now as well. So eventually I have to figure out where to post more content like this, because it will all be censored soon. But yeah, over the past 2 years, pretty much every left-leaning friend, even if they're even slightly left-leaning, because it's like something about them. Even this one who I thought was a good friend told me that the reason he invests in Nike and Apple in China is because they use slave labor, and that means they show dedication to profits. And it just shows total lack of empathy. I mean, come on, dude. I was trying to talk about how sad this, is how fucking crazy this TikTok I saw. Pretty much this Uyghur woman being treated like a slave. And he said pretty much, what do I care if 10 people in China get treated like slaves or something like that? There's a billion people over there, and it's just like, while maybe back in the day I might have shrugged that off. It's just, I just see the total lack of empathy coming from people from even any traces of that ideology. Even that guy, he was more of a moderate, but it was, he's, the way he is about the economy, and it's like he's very heavily entrenched in liberal ideology, even though he did have some conservative things he would say, and I'm not conservative by any means. I really don't like this American political system. I really want to figure out a way to fucking, some things we can change it. We can have more parties or something. Something's got to change. We just can't have two parties no more. It's pretty ridiculous. We got to figure something out. I would say I'm more libertarian if you could put me into the American political spectrum. Anyways, fucking Adam 22 though, straight up, man, fucking just totally disrespects his black co-host. And it's fucking like, it's pretty sad, because it's like you see these guys and they like want to like fucking turn up on this guy, but it's like they can't because he's like their fucking boss. It's like he's surrounded by black men that he can boss around. He's a pencil neck white guy. He looks like, he's a BMX dude. He looks pretty fucking, anyways, he's just, it's just sad to see, man. These guys are just getting bullied by this dude, and I mean, it just baffles my mind how these dudes are just taking it just for a paycheck, man. They could just, at this point, they should just work a regular job, because they're out here getting literally scolded by their boss in front of thousands of people. And I can't believe, that he's still putting this type of content on. He still has, I mean, he would put that on after, like, he would have a conversation like that with that man. He just, it's very disrespectful, from my point of view. But anyways, pretty much, yeah, you can't trust any of these left-leaning liberal men who love politics, man. That it's a strange phenomenon, and I'm fucking highly specifying that is because I still have conservative white friends, man. They're free thinkers, at least. I don't fucking agree with everything, but at least they're not telling me what to do, and that's the real thing. I think that's what the real bottom line issue is that, liberals, these dudes are just, I think they just want to be told what to do at the end of the day. They don't really want to think too hard. They don't want you to think too hard. So they just want to be told what to do and for everything to keep on going. And, people of color, some of these conservative people, these conservative white people, they, a lot of them also come from a little bit rougher backgrounds. And, they have more blue collar backgrounds, to say the least. And some of them, not the ones at the top, but, and it's almost like we had to work for our money, and it's like people like coming up from those like northern New Jersey, fucking Rhode Island type suburbs, their daddies and mommies fucking got good ass jobs, and they came and they fucking dispersed all around the country because there's not enough shit for them to do in their fucking hometowns, because there's so many of them, because they were able to pop out so many over the past couple of decades, because how well their people were doing. So of course they've spread all across the, the country, with their ideas and their how life should be, and pretty much they've known a life of relative ease and luxury and comfort, and now that they see a threat to that, now that they see that shit might end, people like Adam 22, people like my friends, they're not able to go out and go get their prescription drugs. They're not able to fucking go out and party. They're not able to go out and live their nice white life in the city because of this COVID. So, and the world, the they, to say the least, whoever's telling us, the mask mandates, vaccine mandates, all that shebang. Whoever's in control of that, whoever you think's in control of that, they are, they're pretty much dangling the carrot and saying you got to get vaccinated. All of us have to get vaccinated. 95% is the new number, what we need for us all to get vaccinated now, as of October 5th. And they see a threat to their nice life, and they never work for anything in their life. They don't own anything. They don't really have the care. They don't really care to own anything. They don't really want to have families because their family life was shitty because they had to be fucking drug around like a fucking like they were being trained for something, and so they have a bunch of problems. They're all on drugs, so they're not trying to have families or anything. And so their main concern is that life goes back to normal, whatever that was. And and you should do the same. Why are you questioning it? We want to go back to normal. We can't be stuck inside with our own thoughts. That's too much to ask. So I think I'm gonna just leave it there. I come of mixed race. I've got no hate in my heart towards white people at all. My grandfather's white, and my mother's half white, so it's not nothing to do with that at all. But it's what it is. It's the total lack of empathy for people who have been told what to do before in their fucking history. It's like for them everything exists outside of their life and their history, so it doesn't really ever impact them. It's always something else. So it's like now that something's happening, they can't really process something that is happening to them. They can't really process it, so they've got to fight it, and they got to tell you what to do, and their world's dying, and you gotta fucking die with them, basically. That's why they want you to get the vaccine. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it off there. This video's kind of been all over the place, but yeah, Adam 22. It's very strange. It's very strange the way he treats his employees and whatnot. It really shows to me. It showed to me. It reminded me of all the conversations I pretty much had with people that remind me of him. Left-leaning liberal males, liberal males. Not even outwardly liberal or political. Just they have that background, that northern liberal parents background. It's pretty much been all across the board. I've had similar interactions where they've tried to do what he's done, what he did to his co-host, what he's been doing to his co-host. They become more brazen, outwardly showing their racism. You know, it's really you know, it's I mean, I can't blame them. You know, I'm glad it's happening. You know, I'm glad it's happening. You know, it shows people's real colors the past 2 years. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the video there. If you like this content, you know, like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully, I'm gonna have more videos out here in the future on you know, more relevant current topics. This was sort of about you know, something I had sort of noticed. You know, sort of like a deja vu I had seen from comparing my own personal life to, you know, what I've been seeing from the Adam 22 channel, the No Jumper channel. You know, it's pretty much in the summary, you know, these liberal males are fucking starting to show their true colors with their fucking true intention with black people and us colored people. You know, we're not equals. We're something to tell to do and something to look at and fucking, you know, whole 9 yards. You know, you know, and that's not even, yeah. Just go ahead and leave it there. Peace out, YouTube.